In today's video, guys, I want to go over exactly why your awareness sucks. In this recent FNCS that just finished, a lot of the problems that I saw with low-level and high-level teams was that their awareness as a duo, as solo players, it was really not that good. So in today's video, I want to go over some things that you guys can do in order to improve your awareness and truthfully pop off as a competitive player by being more aware of what's around you. Be sure to stick around to the end of this video so you guys don't miss any important information. Let's get right into it. So guys, the first two things are literally just going to be some settings that I would recommend everybody changes. The first one is genuinely going to be to turn on visualize sound effects if you guys feel that it's going to help you out a lot. A lot of pro players have this setting on. Essentially what it does is that it just creates a little circle in the center of your screen. It's not too visually cluttered. However, it does alert you if people are shooting, people are building, and people are walking around the area. It's going to alert you of where they are, what direction they are. If it's in the lower part of the circle, they're behind you. If it's in the right part of the circle, they're to the right of you. It's in the left, vice versa. Essentially, it's really going to give you a good ability to actually understand where players are around you and kind of show you that on a reticle area on screen. I know I have said in the past that I don't think everybody should have them on. I simply think that if you've been playing competitive in Fortnite in general for a long time, you genuinely should understand where these directional sounds are going to be coming from, and you shouldn't need to turn them on. However, if you feel that it helps you, especially if you're a newer competitive player, I definitely recommend you keep visualize sound effects on. Another setting, this is going to be a bit more secretive. Not as many people know about this, but this is something that's really good. I actually covered it in my audio video. You guys can check that out in the top right corner. This is going to be to turn the audio bass boosting footstep setting on. If you guys turn that setting on, it's really going to increase the bass boosting sound of the footsteps. It's going to make footsteps easier to hear, gunshots easier to hear. People can't really sneak up on you as easily. What you guys will essentially have to do is just go to that video that I made, check it out, and go to the bass boosting section. I went over exactly how to apply those bass boosting settings. Essentially, you're just going to go into your control panel, change some sound settings by adding an enhancement, but be sure to check that video out. I'll put it up in the top right corner and also in the description down below. Please look at that video. It's a crucial setting. Now let's get into the actual gameplay tactics that I think everybody should change in order to actually get better awareness. The first one is going to be the fact that you need to check your surroundings constantly. This means that you have to have an idea of exactly where you are in the map, understand which POIs, resources, and chests are around you, because that's going to help you improve drastically if you know where all these things are. The reason I went over those three things is because people tend to be centered around them. That's going to be chests, POIs, and resources. The reason people are around chests is because that's going to be loot. People want more loot throughout the game. They want to maybe get a refresh on health, shield, materials, whatever it is. Chests are crucial and a lot of people are going to be near them. The reason people are near POIs is because POIs have chests, they have natural resources, they have buildings to farm, they have floor spawns, they have ammo boxes, whatever people need, they have that as well. And the last thing is going to be resources. People will box up on naturally really good rocks to box up on. They're going to box up on trees to refarm their materials. They'll box up on metal areas to do the same. They'll even box up on natural mobility such as a nitro ring if they can. So because people tend to be around these areas, you need to adjust your playstyle whether you want to be near people or not be near people. Regardless of how you're going to be playing, you just need to know that enemy players are going to be there and you need to be aware of it. If you don't understand those three facts of chests, POIs, and resources, you're not going to be aware of where people are near those things. As a supplement to that, you just need to genuinely know where your enemy players are wherever you are on the map. A really good way you guys can do this during the early game is you can land, and then you can learn where the enemy players are going to be rotating around you by VOD reviewing. You guys can look at drop maps, look at loot and POIs near you, figure out where they're going to be rotating based upon the zones, and be aware of where they're going to be. That's the best way to check your surroundings throughout the early, mid, and late game. Understand all those aspects, and you're definitely going to improve your awareness. Now the next tip I have is going to be a little bit more specific. This isn't as hard stuck as the previous tips. You guys don't really need to take this one as seriously. However, it can be applicable if you guys are in situations where it matters. This is going to be building in the correct material based upon the situation. For me, this has pretty much been the rule of thumb that wood is for fighting, brick is for tarping, and then metal is for bases. Obviously, this can change based upon how many materials you have and in what times in the game and how much of each you have. For example, if you're really low on metal, you're gonna have to tarp in wood. It's just a simple fact of the game. If you're really low on wood, you may have to fight in brick or metal and use more of your hard materials during those situations. You don't need to stick to this constantly. However, I would recommend if you do have an even split of those materials, the way that you budget them is important for your awareness. This is because people can easily sneak up on you if you are tarping in wood. People can easily break into your tarp with 1 or 2 hits and you're not going to be able to notice it as easily. And vice versa. If you guys base up in wood, people can also sneak into your builds. If you're fighting in metal, you're just wasting your hard materials they can use later in the late game. This isn't the most important thing in the world. However, it's something you should definitely pay attention to if you want to master your awareness. That's why I'd recommend you guys focus on getting hard materials first in the early game and then getting wood later on, because wood you can always get. There's plenty of places around the map that have wood. Metal is a little bit more scarce and brick is also scarce as well, but those two materials are the most crucial for basing up and tarping, which are the two things you're going to do that's going to help you get a lot of points in these tournaments. It'll also help you with your awareness because you're genuinely going to know and hear if somebody's trying to sneak up on you. And another tip, guys, is definitely going to be to block your back whenever you're tarping. This is really important for duos because one person's going to be tarping, another person's going to be looking for eliminations and fragging. However, on top of fragging, you guys need to also support the team by blocking your back tarp. Basically, what this means is that every 3 or 4 tiles that you guys tarp, consider blocking the back so that no team can easily sneak up on you. It's a really good thing to do because every single pro team does it, and it genuinely keeps you guys safe in your tarp and allows you not to have a team sneak up on you, which makes you more aware during your end games. Even during early games, it's really crucial. You need to make sure that you're always covered by something that you own, something that you can edit, because that's how you're truthfully going to survive in the mid-game fights and not get awareness checked during those situations either. However, blocking your back can be difficult in some circumstances. If you guys are tarping and you happen to get into a fight, you may not have time to block your back, so be sure to do it once that fight is over, or be sure to disengage and then continue blocking your back. Never forget it, it's a crucial aspect of the endgame. And then the final tip I have, guys, is for you guys not peeking intelligently. You always need to be aware of where players are, if they can see you and if you can see them. So essentially, this means that you need to use more right-hand peeks, use more peanut butter edits. Understand you guys can peek through your cones and your walls to learn where players are around you, and you can peek effectively. If you don't peek intelligently, that's going to be doing stuff like left-handed peeks, opening wide edits in build fights, opening wide edits to get storm surge tags. This is not intelligent. You guys need to be aware of where people are, and you can learn that by using stuff like right-hand peeks, understanding if they can see you and if you can see them. You always want to try to have an angle where you can see them, but they can't necessarily see you. That's how you should angle your character towards the enemy players. And then of course, if you guys need to scout or if you need to find out where other players are, look through your cone, look through your stair, look through any build. You need to understand edits are clear and it's really easy to scout using them nowadays. This type of stuff will also really help your awareness because you're genuinely going to know where people are, and you will also have a much easier time actually hitting your shots and awareness checking other people rather than getting awareness checked yourself. This is going to be crucial for your awareness, and I hope you guys figure this out. But anyways, guys, that is a video on exactly how to improve and be more aware in your competitive lobbies. This is a crucial tip that I saw in FNCS this past whole time your FNCS was going on. I hope you guys watched this finals. It was absolutely fantastic. Congrats to all the winners. But that is about it for this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.